Have you ever wondered why some people can't resist a shopping spree while others can pinch pennies like pros? Indeed, the enigma of money is as fascinating as it is complex. Let's dive into this mystery together. At the heart of our financial behaviors is the mighty human brain, a marvel of nature constantly making decisions, balancing needs and desires, risks and rewards. Consider the allure of consumerism. Our brains are wired to seek pleasure, and in the modern world, that often translates to buying new things. That shiny new gadget, the latest fashion trend, a brand new car, these are not just products but sources of joy, status symbols that promise happiness. Consumerism, in essence, is a pleasure-reward system fueled by our brain's desire for dopamine, the feel-good neurotransmitter. But here's the twist. Money is also a tool for survival, intricately linked to our basic needs: food, shelter, security. Thus, the fear of scarcity, of not having enough, can drive us towards frugality. The instinct to save, to hoard resources for future use, is deeply embedded in our psyche. It's a survival strategy honed by our ancestors during times of scarcity, and it still influences our financial decisions today. For some, this fear can be so overwhelming it leads to extreme frugality, a refusal to spend money even when basic needs are at stake. For others, it's a healthy respect for the value of money and a commitment to living within their means. So we see a constant dance between indulgence and restraint, between the quest for instant gratification and the need for long-term security. This tension, this push and pull, shapes our relationship with money in profound ways, and that's just the tip of the iceberg. As we delve deeper into the psychology of money, we'll uncover more layers, more complexities, and more insights into our financial behaviors. Money, it seems, is more than just a means to an end. It's a psychological construct that shapes our behaviors in profound ways. Why do some people revel in financial risks while others avoid them like the plague? This question sets the stage for our exploration of the fascinating dance between risk and reward, a dance that each of us performs in our financial lives. Picture this: someone with an overconfident swagger, brimming with self-assuredness. This person, let's call them Alex, is convinced they have a knack for picking the right stocks, the ones that will skyrocket their investments into the stratosphere. Now, overconfidence is a psychological factor that often influences our risk-taking behavior. It can lead us to take financial risks, such as investing in a risky stock, based purely on our belief in our abilities, even when evidence suggests otherwise. On the other end of the spectrum, we have another character, let's call them Taylor, who is frozen by fear, paralyzed by the prospect of loss. This is a phenomenon known as loss aversion. It's the idea that we feel the pain of loss more acutely than we enjoy the pleasure of gain. This can lead us to avoid profitable investments simply because we're too scared of the potential losses. And then there's the thrill of potential rewards. It's like a siren song, beckoning us to take just one more risk, make just one more bet. It's the tantalizing promise of a huge payoff that can drive us to make irrational decisions, blinded by the allure of what could be, regardless of the odds. But here's the thing. Understanding these psychological nuances, the overconfidence, the loss aversion, the thrill of potential rewards, can help us navigate the financial seas more wisely. By being aware of these tendencies, we can check them, question them, and ultimately make more rational decisions. So next time you find yourself on the dance floor with risk and reward, remember Alex and Taylor. Remember that overconfidence can lead to reckless risks, that fear can stop you from seizing profitable opportunities, and that the thrill of potential rewards can blind you to the odds. Understanding our risk and reward mechanisms can help us make more rational financial decisions. Because in the end, it's not just about the dance, it's about knowing the steps. Before we continue, consider subscribing and engaging with our content if you're finding it insightful. So, let's delve into the fascinating world of cognitive biases. These are essentially mental shortcuts or patterns of thinking that can significantly impact our financial behaviors. First up, we have the anchoring bias. This occurs when we rely too heavily on the first piece of information we encounter, the anchor when making decisions. For instance, you might be more inclined to buy a product if you see it's been reduced from a high original price, even if the discounted price isn't particularly good value. Next, let's talk about the confirmation bias. This is our tendency to search for and interpret information in a way that confirms our pre-existing beliefs. For example, if you're convinced that investing in a particular stock is a good idea, you might overlook information suggesting that the stock is overvalued, focusing instead on data that supports your view. Lastly, the availability heuristic comes into play. This is where we make decisions based on the information that's most readily available to us, rather than considering all the relevant facts. You might, for instance, avoid investing in a certain sector because of a recent high-profile failure, even though the sector as a whole is performing well. These biases can distort our perception of financial realities and lead us to make less than optimal decisions. But fear not, there's hope yet. Recognizing our cognitive biases is the first step towards cultivating a healthier financial mindset. So, how can we overcome these psychological hurdles and cultivate a healthier financial mindset? Firstly, we can start by practicing mindfulness. Mindfulness is not just for yoga or meditation, it can also be a powerful tool in managing our finances. This means being present and aware of our financial decisions, instead of making them on autopilot. It's about taking a moment to pause, reflect, and ask ourselves, is this purchase necessary? Am I making this investment based on sound reasoning, or am I being swayed by my emotions or cognitive biases? Speaking of cognitive biases, it's crucial to challenge them head-on. If we're aware of our biases, we can take steps to correct them. For instance, if we're prone to the sunk cost fallacy, where we're reluctant to let go of a losing investment because of the money we've already put in, we can remind ourselves that it's better to cut our losses and move on. Another strategy is to foster a growth mindset. This means viewing financial challenges not as insurmountable obstacles, but as opportunities for learning and growth. It's about believing in our capacity to improve our financial situation, no matter how dire it may seem. Of course, none of these strategies would be effective without a solid foundation of financial education and literacy. Understanding the basics of budgeting, investing, and debt management is key to shaping healthier financial behaviors. By understanding the psychology of money, we can transform our financial behaviors and pave the way towards financial freedom.